Hello there, welcome back. What we're going to do in this video is take an arch in the shape of a semi-ellipse. That is to have a base that spans 50 feet and a height of 12 feet at its center. We're going to write the equation of this ellipse, and then we're going to figure out how far from the center that the arch is 9 feet high off of the ground there. So what we have first is we want to superimpose this ellipse on a coordinate system. That's going to make things a lot easier for us. And as we can tell, the horizontal axis is larger than the vertical axis, or I should say longer than the vertical axis. So since the horizontal axis here spans 50 feet, this point will be 25, 0, and this point will be negative 25, 0. And since the the major axis is vertical, we know that it's going to have, the equation is going to have the form x squared over a squared plus, whoops, not b there, y squared over b squared equals 1. So our goal right now is to find the values of a squared and b squared. Now the good news is, since the vertices are both 25 units from the center, I know right away that a is 25. So that's one piece of information for us. Now, this point up here, since the height of the arch is to be 12 feet at its center, that's represented by the point 0, 12. And since that's a co-vertex, that means B is 12. So we have all of our information here. So as far as the equation of the ellipse goes, we know that x squared over, well, a is 25, which means a squared is 625. B is 12, which means b squared is 144. And technically for this exercise, y is greater than or equal to 0 because we're only modeling the top half of the ellipse. So there's the equation of the ellipse that models this arch. Great. Now for part B, we want to know how far from the center is the arch 9 feet high. See, if I draw a horizontal line here at about 9, we're looking for, that might be a little bit too far up, but we'll go with it. So we want to find the x coordinate where y equals 9. So that just means taking the equation of the ellipse, we want y equals a 9, we want to find the value of x, we're just going to substitute into the equation. So we have x squared over 625 plus 9 squared over 144 equals 1. Now to solve for x, what we need to do is simplify this term, subtract it to both sides, and subtract it from both sides, and then multiply both sides by 625. So 9 squared over 144. Let's get a little help from our calculator here. 9 squared over 144 is that number right there. So then I'm going to subtract that from both sides, which means subtracting that from 1. So 1 minus 0.5625 is 0.4375. So at this point we have x squared over 625 equals 0.4375, which means x squared is equal to 625 times 0.4375. So if I multiply that by 625, that is the right-hand side, 273.4375. And that means x is equal to the square root of that. Now I'm going to approximate this side to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to take the square root of that. So that means to the nearest tenth, we're talking about 16.5 feet. So it is about 16.5 feet from the center, where the arch is 9 feet high.